Well, I guess that's the case if you get what you pay for. Both the screws that those provided this thing has snapped off while trying to drill through a piece of plastic. Ah well, we'll see how it goes. The reversing camera in the Kia, as you can see, it is absolutely fantastic, and couldn't really put one of these in the Falcon because it would be mounted right down there, would be not anywhere as useful. So yeah, just an example of how good the camera is in the little Kia here at night. There's display, there's your rear vision mirror, which is showing absolutely nothing because it's so dark. Back on display, I pop the camera in reverse, and there is the field of vision behind the vehicle. Looks as good as daylight. Now, I won't go into too much detail about how I've wired this because all vehicles are different. And there's the camera there. Probably the most disappointing thing was these screws. The original two both snapped. The first one I used the impact driver, snapped it off. The second one I thought I'd go gentle with the screwdriver, snapped it off. So I've actually got much bigger screws on there now. I did drill a hole to go in through there, but that was the only actual hole I drilled. It came inside here, around down the side there, all the way down here. I put a bit of wire up in from the bottom here and dragged it through. Now I couldn't get it into the hose here, but it's through the protective fittings at either end, so it shouldn't chafe off, and that was not really connected to anything anyway. So the car is 23 years old, stuff like that's all a bit gone now. One of the annoying things was the signal wire which goes to the brake light switch sim in there. It was a bit short, it's a little bit tight there. I'm concerned that if I fill my boot with stuff it might actually bump it out. I got a bit lazy when I connected it. All I did was I pulled the fitting apart, popped out the terminal, wrapped the signal wire around it, popped the terminal back in and then pushed it back together, but it all works quite well. And it's all easily removable, should that have to happen. So the other wire, I'll just run it through the top there. There, and then it came down. I pulled out the back seat, pulled out this side cushion here, around and underneath the kickboards here. You can still see a tiny bit of wire just there. I poked it up under the pillar. And once again back here, see the wire where it goes in there, underneath there, and I've tucked it under the thing. Now just in there is where the RCA joint goes. It's a bit of a big lump of a joint, so I'll push it behind the kickboard on the side there. And I decided to power this just with a cigarette lighter connection, so I bought that from JCar, and yeah, so I'll just run that up under the dash mat to hide it. As you can see, the mirror works just like a mirror. There's no problem there. You turn the ignition on, she turns herself on, goes like that for a few seconds, gives a no signal sign, shuts down. As soon as you pop her in reverse, you get your signal there, and it's a fairly good signal. So yeah, one issue we have noticed is my wife, who's long-sighted and doesn't use her glasses when she drives, has some trouble seeing it. So hopefully there'll be enough mirror left around the outside edges, otherwise I might just pull it off and mount it down here or something. Here's a look at the camera at night. I must say it probably works better than I was expecting. I don't know if there's a flicker through the phone camera, but that's certainly not in the car I'm sitting. The light from the reverse light seems to be illuminating quite well. Now, one of the reasons I particularly wanted a reversing camera is because I tow my trailer a lot, and I want to know if I can use the camera to get quite close to the table. So yeah, I've just hit that table. So if it had been wound up a tiny bit more, I would have been straight underneath it. That's brilliant.